every morning night I pray. Gotta make it out some way. Put a smile back on my mama's face. Yeah.
You got too many charities and organizations. You never have enough. You know what I'm saying? But you got a whole. I'm reading. I said, God damn, I can't remember all of this. I had to put it in my phone. Yeah. I'm like, yo, he's doing a lot of stuff for the community.
Stuff that I didn't know, and I thought I knew it all.
How did you get into that?
Naturally, like I said, I feel like growing up in apartment buildings like I grew up in, like you always had neighbors. So like my aunt lived across the walkway from us. My grandmother lived across the street in the other apartments, and cousins lived behind. We had a neighbor that lived.
You lived in Dorchester.
My neighbor lived below us. Like if we did anything wrong, Miss Brady telling my mom as soon as you know what I mean. Right. So like to me, that sense of community raised us. Like we all get in. Like my mom would take a bunch of us to football practice, and you know what I mean. If somebody else's mom couldn't, and you jumped in. Like my mom had a station wagon, so it'd be 3 people in the trunk, like 3 in the back seat. Like we packed it in. And to me, like, I was just like, man, like, when you get older, you kind of think about it like, damn, you know, if my mom worked, somebody in the community would have made sure I got to and from. And I was like, that's dope. Like, you don't kind of think about how important that is to your upbringing. And so when I got older, like, even in college, we used to do things with the Special Olympics and go to the opening ceremony. And then when I got into the NFL, like I said, it was kind of a long shot for me to be in the NFL. And I've always felt like I must have made it for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, especially in the building, like, I truly believe, like, my time in New England, like, when people talk about, you know, 15, 20 years from now, like, yeah, like, I was a good player, but I thoroughly believe people be like, bro, he was different. Like, he went to the state house and fought legislation for kids with school, for raising the age for juvenile justice. Man, he was a part of.
We're gonna get there.
You know what I mean? He was a part of those. And I think, for me, I feel like that's legacy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what you do on the football field, somebody's going to do that better. Yes. Like, no doubt about it. Whatever I've
better
done.
Than Tom?
Whatever. No, see, he's one guy that might. But eventually, at some point in time, somebody's probably going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, there was a Michael Jordan. Everybody was like, nobody ever. And then there was a LeBron James.
There was a Kobe before LeBron. Come on, Devin.
I'm just saying, whoever you think is better, that's up to you. But
ain't nobody better than Mike.
There's guys in that conversation that you thought we would never, like, we never thought we'd be talking about LeBron James went to the finals 10 times. Right. Yeah. Like, what you mean? Like, there's too much parity. There's too many good players. Right. We never thought we'd see, like, Kobe Bryant, man, how many championships? 5? Like, how? Like, we never thought someone would get close to Mike's 6. But, like, that's what sports is. But I think what you do off the field or off the court, like LeBron, like, bro, you started a school? Right. Like, bro, that's unheard of. Like, you start, like...
Yeah, that's amazing to me.
There's going to be kids that, like, go become something in life, and it's going to be like, yo, it's because I went to LeBron's school.
If you could change one kid, you know what I'm saying, his life, you're going to affect so many other lives.
No doubt about it.
You know, just one kid, you know what I'm saying? So it's like schooling, it's a major thing. But, one thing about school, right, I feel like the curriculum has to change.
Definitely, especially
because I feel like what we're being taught, like, it's like if you was told a lie, right, by somebody, you're not going to trust that person no more. So sometimes we go to school and we learn lies about history.
Not sometimes.
So that kind of turns people off. It's like, damn, this is all a lie. Y'all pushing this on us. I feel like in these schools, some of the curriculum has to change. Like, we have to, even like in high school, we got to teach these kids how to budget, how to, work on their
real life things.
Yeah, real life things instead of stuff that we never probably going to use again. And it's like, what are we teaching these kids sometimes instead of false history? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like let's learn real history. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was wrong, what can be changed, financial literacy, like stuff like that. Like, because I'm like, sometimes we, people donate to these schools, but they're in a messed up area. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's like putting, you dressing up, you got some nice clothes on, but your insides are messed up. I feel like sometimes that's like with the school. The school looks nice, but the inside is messed up. Like, as far as the people and administration, what's going on. Like, I feel like we got to change that.
I'm gonna look at it like this:
these kids, they need help. You know what I'm saying?
But if you look at, we went for middle school, we went to the King School, right? In the King School, it's still the same building, it's still the same structure, it's still the, but
shout out to the King School. I love the King School.
It went from but us, it was just middle school. then now is kindergarten
Not to me, it was family.
But it was middle school.
I love middle school.
Listen, it was 6th, 7th, 8th grade. But
not so much high school,
no,
but I love
now,
middle school.
no, it was 6th, 7th, 8th grade when we were there. But now it's kindergarten to the 8th grade.
Elementary and middle, yeah.
And then now they, from
That's
what
too
I
much.
heard,
I
they
don't like that.
switched
And it's in the
it.
same
Yeah, but they
building.
just switched it, and
I don't
now
like
it's
that.
just elementary. They taking the 6th and 7th grade out. But if you take the middle school out, where they people from that
Where they
neighborhood, that
going?
community, where are they gonna go?
Yeah, that I don't like that, and I don't like K through 8.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't like that because it's too wide of a gap of kids.
Yeah.
And that's when you get
Like
the
you got a
bullying and the stuff
1-year-old.
like
I mean,
that because
not a 1-year-old, first grader,
crack
and then you got
jokes.
the.
Yeah. I don't like
It
that.
didn't work
Like,
well
Well,
for me.
I think the hard thing too is because private schools are able to do that, but it's selective. There's space. This gorgeous campus.
It's
that they-
huge.
you know what I mean?
Like my
taking
son
care
goes
of-
to K through 8.
And you probably don't even know. Sometimes you don't know, but like and I tell you, like how you talking about administration, it's even above them. Like when I was fighting for for the Promise Act to bring $1 billion into Massachusetts schools,
Right.
it blew my mind that the first year it came up, for legislation, like, hey, are we going to pass this or are we going to deny this? And they were like, oh, we can't decide, and we're going to summer recess.
We're gonna push it back.
We're just going to push it back a whole year. So like. The first time I sat down with them, and it was the Black and Latino caucus.
yeah.
And like, shout out to them. But I was just like, so y'all telling me your jobs are to get these kids funding. Like, we got to do something, right?
Y'all deny it.
I said, no matter who's right or wrong, I said, each year you allow like to come to no conclusion. I said, another kid who's now in the school, and whether you're $1 billion short, is it better to be $500 million short than $1 billion, or would you rather just stay at the bill? I was like, that's why I would never do. Like, people always come up to me and they're like, all that you do, you should run for office. I would never do it.
Because they criticize you too much, and it'd be out of your control too.
There's so much other things that you have to do other than like fighting for the people that you have to do. Like, you're so handcuffed with things that like I sat there and I was just like, yo. They did this report in 2014, and at this time it was 2019, or it was 2014. It was either 5 years or 4 years. I said, do y'all realize one kid has gone all the way through high school with you guys already knowing that there was a huge deficit financially, and you let a whole class go through high school and not fix it? Yeah. I was like, that doesn't bother y'all at night? Like, it blew my mind.
It don't
I was
bother
like,
me.
and I told him, I said, maybe I'm messed up because I said, I work in a job that every day, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, our contracts aren't guaranteed, so they can cut us. I said, I watch men come in and get fired somebody gets fired every week. I said, then y'all come here and you just go to recess. Like,
But these are people, these are politicians, right? And this is where I'm gonna go back and like us as a community have to take responsibility. These are politicians. They getting voted in just like we could vote them out.
I'm caught up in this fast life. Every morning night I pray. Gotta make it out some way. Put a smile